Hey everyone, I'm Pete Dalliday at the Showplace Nexicom studio, and welcome to Hometown PTBO, brought to you by TransCanada Nissan. A very special version here because we have two special ladies that are going to join us. We have Kate Suhr and Meg Murphy, who are decked out in green because they are big fans of Adam Scott Collegiate.
That is right.
They were our nemesis.
Well, that's not very kind.
Well, you went to PC, and I went to St. Pete's. There's no way.
Okay,
Sorry.
maybe it's got to do with St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, we'll let you.
You guys have a couple great shows coming up. We're going to talk about that later, but the segment is called Hometown PTBO. So let's start with you, Meg. I know you're born and raised in Peterborough. The name like Murphy, that's pretty, it sounds like East City, but I don't know. Where were you raised?
I was raised in Peterborough. Some family came over in, I don't know, let's think 1825. So we're just about full townies now. We have our Peterborough card. So I've been here forever. I love it. I left to go to university, and then Peterborough draws you back. Kate has a beautiful song called Something in the Water, and there is. Just Peterborough gets you back.
It's that Otonabee River water.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, they should bottle it.
Brings it right back.
So you went to St. Pete's High School,
St.
correct?
Pete's all the way. I loved St. Pete's. I was on student council. What school did you go to?
I went to Adam Scott, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
So look at what you said earlier.
Well,
apologize.
Not yet.
It's okay. I had a lot of family that went to St. Peter's.
It's the Garnet and Gold, baby.
Friends and stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And you went to the new St. Peter's. Although technically you went to the old St. Peter's.
For one whole year.
Because of why?
Well, our school, I went to St. Teresa's Catholic school, as you can tell by my halo. And then our school caught fire in my grade 8 year. So they had to bus us. It was like every child's dream. They bused us to the old St. Pete's. And I remember our classroom was way up high and the floor slanted. So if you dropped a pen, it would roll all the way down to the front. It was awesome. And there were bats. It's great.
Wow.
I don't know why they tore it down.
I don't know.
I did my
either.
first musical there. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor
Did you really?
Dreamcoat.
The old auditorium there?
Oh, I love that auditorium.
It was a magical
I
place.
saw Mr. Dress up there at the old
Me
auditorium.
too!
Yeah. That was so fun.
That's a win.
Yeah, and then
thought you were
Casey and
Lewis and
Finnegan
Graham.
were not there. Which I was a little disappointed in, right?
I also saw Mr. Dress Up in a pub in university. He did a university tour.
Of course
I
he
love
did,
that.
right?
It's a
That
proper
would've
place
been-
for him to be.
I know.
It would have been his audience, right? Everyone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I know.
Brilliant. All right, Kate Suhr, what about you? You were born in Peterborough, but raised in beautiful Indian River.
It is the place that I was raised. A country gal out frolicking in the fields.
Is it true you worked at the Killick, or you were a regular customer there? The Killick restaurant, famous for their what? Their pie?
They had really good pie.
Yeah.
They had good roast beef dinners. My folks would take us down. Probably wouldn't be wearing any seat belts back then. Go get some nice roast beef dinner.
Sure.
Was it one of those roast beef dinners where they take the mashed potatoes with an ice cream scoop?
Probably. They're
God,
probably
I love-
very smooth, and I prefer lumpy mashed potatoes, to be honest.
And then you came into town. You went to high school at
I went to PC.
at
Well,
PCBS.
yes, I went to Norwood. I started out at Norwood Elementary, and then I finished half of my grade 8 year in Keene at North Shore Public School. That's random.
Okay.
And then headed to Peterborough to PCBS when I was 14.
Wow. Did you go to school with like Serena Ryder, any of
I
those
did.
famous people?
Yeah.
Not that you're not famous, but
Whoa, good save.
the more famous people.
So far from.
That kind of came out wrong.
So far from.
Anyways, thanks for having me.
Yes. Serena was my sister's age. So, I watched her in coffee houses and was
So
in
she's
awe.
older then?
Kate taught her everything she knew.
2 years older than I am.
Right.
Yeah.
But other famous grads from St. Peter's included Sean Cullen, right?
Yes.
Or PCBS, sorry.
PCBS,
Sebastian Bach.
And my grandmother went there.
And your grandma.
Kate's grandma. What was her name?
Leo Northrop. She used to own a Comstock Funeral Home.
Wow, really?
Married a lot of
Trivia.
people from PCBS.
Lots of trivia.
She likes lumpy potatoes,
that
and she's
is a-
related to the Comstocks.
Fun random fact.
It's a very random fact.
Right.
Yeah.
So we meant to ask you, do you have your will?
That's cool. Okay, so that's awesome. And where did you start with your love for music? Did it start there? Or even before that, out in Indian River?
It started in Indian River.
Yeah.
It started, my first concert was Dina Carter, Strawberry Wine. And I was not 17, but I loved that song.
Yeah.
And then from there I was quite drawn to country music, but we were strange because we always went to musicals in Toronto. So once we started going to the musicals, I got that itch, and then I
Yep.
loved everything. Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Garth Brooks, everything that I could get my hands on. I just loved Paul Simon, James Taylor, Elton John was a big favorite in our home. So
Yep.
yeah, music was a big part of my life. But the influence really came from my grandmother because she was an opera singer. So music was always.
She owned a funeral home and was an opera singer.
I'm telling you, she was just a magical lady.
Her
Yeah.
music killed.
Yeah.
So it's in the
Hello.
blood a little bit. Yeah.
It's in the blood. Yeah.
And Meg, what about you? Your passion for Peterborough is unbelievable. I mean, it's like 11 out of 10.
Yeah, I am passionate about Peterborough.
You know, why is that? Where did you get that from? Was it your parents?
Yeah.
Was it?
My family was always, actually in this show, I talk about my family because my uncle Claire Galvin was a writer and a historian, and he owned a business downtown in Peterborough. And everyone was always obsessed with this Irish ancestry, and I thought, like, enough when I was a teenager. I thought, come on, we're Canadian, we're not Irish. And then I went to Ireland, and then I grew up, and I started to realize the history here, and then I fell in love and became obsessed with this community and the history of it and how people come together and support each other, and I just love this community. Do you want to, can I show my sash?
Of course you can.
Pete, do you want to know a little fact?
Yeah, I do. That's what we're here for.
Okay, hang on.
Tell
Wait for
us.
it. Here it is. Okay, Pete. This is a big deal for me.
Am I gonna cry?
No.
Yeah.
You will laugh at me though. So when I was 19, the Peterborough Irish Club used to do a contest called the Colleen of the Kawarthas, which
Yes.
is like the Rose of Tralee
Sure.
in Ireland.
Yep.
And so I applied for this thing because my mom told me that I was in first year university, if you win, you get a trip to Ireland. First I said, is this like some kind of beauty pageant? And she said, don't flatter yourself. It's a personality pageant, so you've got your work cut out for you. So then I won the thing.
If it was a beauty pageant, one of your sisters would have got
Yeah, exactly.
the nod.
I won, and this is the sash
Yes.
that I got
Oh
to
my
wear
gosh.
from the Colleen of the Kawarthas, 1999,
Yeah, look at that thing.
when I represented the Peterborough Canadian Irish Club in all the parades on George Street.
Yes.
Back in the day when they had parades.
I know!
Yeah,
And I got to go to Ireland with my sash and everything.
that is awesome. Was that,
That's my love of Peterborough.
was that year the parade, the St. Patty's Day parade? There was a year where, like, the temperature was like 21 degrees.
Yes.
And like, was that the year?
Was that your
Was there-
float year?
And I
Yeah.
rode in the back of Mr. Paul Croak, who passed away recently. He had the horse-drawn carriage, and I
Sure.
was in the back with a big hat. I got to wave at everybody, and the horse would poop, and it was so good.
Good times,
Yeah.
for sure.
So that's my love of Peterborough, because this kind of stuff happens in Peterborough. Where else do you get a homemade sash that says Colleen of the Kawarthas?
This is the only place you'd get that.
I think I
love
ruined
it.
the
I love
title
it.
though, because I was the last one. So I don't know what I did wrong, but I ruined it.
Hey, I think it's something
No
you should be
way.
proud of. Kate, what about you? Before we get into a quick performance here and some fun, what is it that keeps you here, that you want to make Peterborough your hometown? Because, I mean, you could go off. You could go to New York if you wanted to, or Toronto. You're so talented. So what makes it special to stay here in
I
Peterborough?
can't seem to actually leave. I try all the time. I've moved to Toronto quite a few times, but I keep coming back. It's family and friends always, and community. For me, the same thing that Meg said. We uplift each other more than any other community I've ever been a part of. I have a lot of dear friends in Toronto in the theater industry, and they'll look at my Facebook or they'll listen to my stories and they're like, I just can't believe the amount of support that you have in that town. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And it is a tonic. I think it gives us all really great vitality, and there's so much support. I love this town so much. So
Awesome.
Can I add something else?
Yeah.
It's also people like you and Curtis and Dave. Honestly, it is. You devote so much to this community, and even doing a bit like this, that's special. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, it's fun, and you guys are great. So why don't we get into give the show a plug? What are you guys going to be up to? How can people get involved? It's like $25, which is a bargain. It's $12.50 per performer. Really?
And
We should have done that.
hello. The show's actually 45 minutes, so it's a nice, quick,
Yep.
get in there, grab your pints, watch from home in the little Zoom room, in the Zoom pub. And Meg and I do story and song mixed together. And Meg tells some really wonderful stories about her childhood, as you just heard with Colleen from the Kawarthas.
I get to see
You
this
got to
again.
hear the whole story. It's quite fantastic. And we try to include the community, talk a lot about Peterborough, and bring in original music. Sometimes we'll write it's all original except we're doing some Irish tunes
Yeah, sure.
that you might have heard before.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to be able to sing at home. So it's the Veranda Society. It is going to be public on March the 19th at 8 p.m. and Saturday the 20th at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. It's family friendly, don't you know? So bring your kids. Bring
Balls are
anyone.
again, yeah. Balls.
So come and get your tickets on Eventbrite. You can find us all over social media. Megan Murphy, Kate Suhr, the Veranda Society, and we would love to see you virtually.
Yes,
And then we'll
please
see you
come.
this summer too, because
Tell your friends and tell them to bring their friends.
yes, please. And we will be coming to your verandas, your barns, your driveways, your front porches, your whatevers, again this summer with our show.
And we would also like to thank Showplace for being so generous and allowing us into this incredible spot to do our show for all of you.
On again. This is a little song about a tiny little place nearby that we like to call Ennismore.
Oh, Ennismore, we love you. Sure, it seems like only yesterday I left old Erin Shore. I sailed across the great blue sea to a place called Ennismore. Didn't know a single soul or who would meet me there, but the gang were as Irish as how did you know that? It's just like County Kildare. They gave a welcome party for me and how they could dance and sing. The Hicksons and the Toomeys, they made the fiddles ring. The music was something grand, dancing and shenanigans. It was just like Ireland. Who was there? Oh, I'll tell ya. There were bricks and berries and valentines. The Conways, they came first. There were Floods and Foley's and Fergusons and a family of Elmers. I know them. There were Giffords and Ganyons and Gavins, the Killings and the Kyles, Corkeries and Crokes and Cadigans. I never saw so many smiles. Come on, there are more. There's more, right? The Shanahan, Swifts, and Sullivans, they really dance for joy. Murrays, Maloney's, and Murphys, they sing, oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy. It's so sad. Why did he die? Why is that song so sad? I don't know. The Hennessy's, Tiernans, and Travises were as happy as they could be. The party ended with a song of welcome just for me. Just for me. And this is how it went, ready? Yes, they sang a pretty song for me. The title, it was grand. You're as welcome as the flowers in May to this little holy land. So many friendly people that I never met before. Well, I knew I had to make my home in dear old Ennismore. Where? Dear old Ennismore. One more time. Dear old Ennismore. Pack your bags and come across the causeway. What was that? I don't know.
Hometown PTBO with Pete Dalliday, presented by Trans Canada Nissan.